What's going on, guys? My name is Adam, and real quick, while I got a few minutes to talk, I want to touch on game reviewing and how I think they should be done by people like me and how I plan on doing them from here on out, because I do want to get more game reviews out there. I just had to come up with something that would work. Okay, so generally what you see as the big time reviews of video games, which would be like in magazines like Game Informer or PC Gamer, or on websites like Kotaku, or done by big people like in a Respawn live stream. They did someone did a review of Crysis 2. Is you have someone who talks about pretty much every aspect of the game possible and rates everything on a boring ass number system. Well, first of all, no one thinks like that. I mean, when you're playing a game, if something's really bad in the sound or the graphics have the potential to be good, but there's just too many glitches or something, okay, you can talk about that. But no one thinks on, okay, I like this game because the sound is 8.9 out of 10, and the graphics are 9.5 out of 10 because we're at the top of our graphics at the moment and it just looks cool, and the voice acting is a 7 out of 10, but I still like it anyway. No. You like a game as an overall experience, and generally what you see first is pretty much how you feel about it. Most games don't take very long for you to develop an opinion that actually works for you. And another problem with those reviews is you either have to play the entire game in order to be able to have accurate information. You have to finish most of the game, single player or whatever at least, and play all the game modes in order to better be able to actually have a full-on opinion about every feature of the game and things like that. Or you have to BS it. And most of the time what happens is people end up just BSing it because most reviewers are given like 2 days to review a review copy of a new game that just came out, and no one has the time or ability to finish the entire game in that amount of time. So they take their initial impressions, maybe look at the game modes a bit more in detail when they have the time, and then write a review based on that. And then make it sound like it's a review of the entire game, which isn't true. That's not how it works. And then you have some people, kind of like me, and I've been trying to do, who, and actually I feel bad for like quoting them and stuff, because people get kind of mad when I talk about what Respawn people have said and things like that, but it's whatever. Hutch actually said he doesn't want to ever give full-on reviews because it's just whether or not you're having fun with it at the moment. And I kind of agree with that, because that's kind of how you judge a game, and that's how you should go with it. When you're someone who plays a lot of games or doesn't have time to finish a full game before putting a review out of it, especially if it's a brand new game, and you want to get a review out faster, you're not going to be able to have every feature down and provide a number system for each feature and things like that. And like I said, no one really cares about the number rating for the voice acting and the special parts of the graphics and things like that, and the load times. It's just whether or not they enjoy it and have fun. So I plan to, when doing future game reviews, which I plan to do more of different games and stuff, just mainly talk about what I have experienced, my thoughts on different parts of it, and then focus more on, again, if I'm enjoying it, if I think it'll continue to be enjoyable. Like if it's multiplayer, you can say at the moment it's enjoyable, but like Modern Warfare 2 died off pretty fast, and so I'll generally try and be honest whether or not I think it's a honeymoon effect. Like I called right off the bat Black Ops would be a honeymoon effect, just like Modern Warfare 2. And while it hasn't died nearly as bad as Modern Warfare 2 had, I've become a lot more disappointed with it the more I've played. So I'll try to make judgments like that. I will, in my reviews, it's just going to be if I like the game, why I liked it, or why I'm liking it so far, rather. And I'm also not going to say whether I think people should buy it or not, because who am I to tell someone whether or not they should spend their $60 or however much the game is on a game? Who is anyone to tell you that? I mean, that's based on if you really want the game, if you have enough games to keep you occupied at the moment, if you have the money to spend on the game and things like that. So no, I'm just gonna say whether I'm liking it at the moment, whether I find it enjoyable. Again, at the moment, what I thought of what I've played so far, and if I guess I'll say whether or not I regret spending money on it so far. But again, that's gonna be based on user experience, so you can't really accurately tell someone whether or not they should buy a game. And I'm not gonna try and pretend I've played the entire game and reviewed it. I've actually admittedly done that a couple times. I'm not going to give number ratings for crap because that just doesn't make sense. But I'm at least gonna make sure I've played enough of the game so far that I know what I'm talking about, not just I picked up a game, looked at it, and said, oh, okay, this is what I think. But yeah, that's how. I just really don't like the full-on game reviews, and I understand how that's kind of how it's got to work for magazines and more professional paid stuff that I actually plan to get into, and things like that. But as far as like YouTube videos and blog posts go, I'm trying to keep it more personal and simple and not so much about crap no one really cares about. So hopefully I'll get some reviews out there. Again, I play a lot of games and I don't finish any of them, and so it's really hard for me to go through with reviews, but I'm gonna work on them and expect to see some from me. You can, I guess, in the comments if you want, put what games you would like to see and reviews of and stuff. I'm not going to go out and buy a game based on subscriber requests because I don't have infinite money to do that with, but I will certainly put more priority on writing a review of it if I have it, or trying to see what I think of it so far if someone requests it. Like, someone asked in a message if they said they wanted to see some Homefront, and I'd love to do some Homefront, I just don't have it yet, so as soon as I get it I will make sure I work on getting some videos of it and stuff. I'm kind of excited to see that game because other than server complaints, I've heard it's pretty good and it looked pretty cool from what I've seen people playing of it. But again, I'm not going to go out and buy it just because people want to see a review of it. That's not how this works. So yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Again, comment if you have any ideas of games that I have that you want to see an actual review of, not just, hey, I make videos of this game, it must be good. Because that's not always the case. To be honest, I mean, that's really not always the case. And otherwise, please leave a like. Takes 2 whole seconds, helps me get views and things like that, and helps my channel grow and develop and get better overall. Because honestly, when a commentator does the same thing over and over and over and doesn't get any feedback, he or she may not always improve. I feel I have improved even with any sort of lack of feedback I may have gotten, even though I've gotten quite a bit recently. But just leave me a like, please. And otherwise, as always, have a nice day.